Hello again, my friends. Welcome to another episode of the JNA Locked It series. I'm so proud of us. You know why?
Why?
Because we are consistent. You know, I was just telling Chris previous episode, right, that maybe the fourth video will be the last video, or the first video will be the last video, but maybe it's the fourth one. I think we'll be making it to the eighth one by end of this week. And right here, right now, on this episode, we have none other. I'm not going to call you Ice Queen anymore, right? If not, all the clients will feel that you're very cold. She's actually very nice. We have none other than Jerralyn Satrio herself, who is actually one of the top individuals in the sales force, offloading a lot of record-breaking properties alongside us, right? So Jerralyn, welcome to the show once again. Today we're talking about something very interesting, okay? And I tell you one thing. This sale is one of the most memorable sale that I have done with you, or even for myself, in the past 6 years of this business.
Why?
It is not because of the quantum of the property, right? We have sold more expensive properties, but I was so impressed with the speed that we sold this property at. And to give some context to this deal, the owners of this property was marketing it for 8 months with a GTA agent. And for those who don't know what GTA agent is, GTA agent means go-to agent in the particular district with only 8 viewings and 0 offers. And this was a penthouse unit. The previous time we met, it was a patio unit. You love to take challenging listings. We love to challenge ourselves. That is vacant, no furnitures at all, bare unit.
Fair.
And we sold it not in 3 months. We sold it not in 1 month.
In 3 hours.
Not in 1 week. You see, the storytelling is very important in sales, you know. We sold it in none other than 3 hours. And I remember the conversations we have before I go in deep into this listing, okay? The owners met us. He gave us quite a high commission, right? And then he told us, Jervis, if you can sell this listing in 1 month, I'll give you above market commission. And I told him, let's make it 1 week. And we sold in 1 day. Okay, so what is the reason why actually I said 1 week and 1 day, right? Was I confident? I think conviction in sales is very important, right? You have to fall into the unit that you can sell, right?
Yes.
And also the previous 2 weeks, our dear friend Lucas sent me a lot of clips from Lux Listing Sydney, from Gavin Rubinstein, right? And sorry, my nose itchy. and I remember there was a scene, right? He said, give me the exclusive. And then the owner said, how long do you need to sell? He said, how long do you need me to sell? And the owner said, 1 week. He said, make it a day. Wow, I was so inspired. And we did it, you know.
And he repeated that same quote to our owners.
Right. Okay, can I be very honest with you? When I took on this listing with you, right? You know, we were like, how am I going to sell it in 1 day, right?
The previous agent took 8 months and then he said, make it a week.
I said make it a day. Yeah.
After we left, I was like, you show me you sell it in a day.
And that's also the reason why we push ourselves to the limit to sell this home, man.
But like, we have to do it, man. We have to do it. We already said it, we better do it.
Yeah. And I remembered that the owners, upon receiving the offer, he said this, you guys really did it. And he teared. You remember that?
Yeah.
And he gave us a very nice bottle of red wine, right? That we had, right? We love you, Mr. Owner. If you're watching this, we're not going to say your name because of PDPA. But let's talk a little bit more about this. Marshall Residence Penthouse, District 15, freehold, TOP in 2006, boutique development.
20 units.
20 units. 2,207 square feet, quite good. But the second floor is a whole space of roof terrace.
Yeah.
3 bedroom converted to 2.
2 bedroom.
So let me give you some context about this. Challenging units. What makes a challenging unit, right? Number 1, tenanted. Because you will eradicate own stay bias, right? If your tenancy lasts longer than completion. Number 2, penthouse, patio. Number 3, ground floor units. Number 4, boutique developments. Number 5, the worst, okay? When the owner tells us, Jervis, I've converted 3 bedrooms to 2 bedrooms and I need to sell at 3 bedrooms at a good price. And this owner, after the sale, made $1.18 million in profit, the highest profit in the entire development. He shifted to District 10 in the end. I was so happy for him. and we sold it in a day. Tell me more about this listing. Tell me more about what are some of the challenges of Marshall Residence.
Okay, when we first took up this listing, so all the challenging things that you mentioned, right? It checks the boxes, okay, like boutique development, penthouse unit,
Yes.
with a roof terrace that's like completely open space.
Zero furniture.
And yeah, zero furniture. It was
Quite messy.
Yeah, it was completely vacant.
Yeah.
So when we walked into the house and we said, "Oh, we want this price," we were like, "Oh,
How? Yeah.
We need to think of a lot of marketing plans and a lot of marketing efforts from our side and also from the marketing team on how we can get this to the right buyers and the right demographics that can appreciate penthouse units. Now, because not only is this a penthouse unit, it's a penthouse unit in a boutique development with like
2 bedrooms.
no facilities.
Yes, no facilities and it's 2 bedrooms, right? I think that there are a group of buyers who will appreciate this, but it's about sieving through all the buyers to find that particular buyer.
Yeah.
And I remember after we took on this listing, I was driving you home, I remember, and we were talking in the car. She was reprimanding me, She said, "You're very confident to sell in one day, I said, "I promise already, so I will do it," right? But of course, we dragged, we had about 2 weeks with the owners. We said we want to prepare the marketing properly first.
Yeah.
We went very deep in the home tours. I'm very proud of one thing where I felt that the home tour starting was at a spiral staircase. Jerralyn is totally not proud about this. I don't know why. Because it's so rare to find a spiral staircase in a penthouse. And it's not in your GFA, right? So I remember we started there. We planned the storyboarding super intensely. Yeah. We talked to Penny about it. She gave us pointers about what are some of the parts of the properties we had got to show. We did an entire home staging proposal.
Yeah.
We had to choose furnitures here and there. Some furnitures we didn't like, we had to change it. We had to run the ads to see the demographic, to see what kind of buyers will be interested in this property. And we had to brainstorm with the media buying team. So many things was done, right? But before I go into the solution, and maybe we'll bring the viewers through, right? The entire process of selling this home. But besides it being vacant, roof terrace, 3-bedroom and converted to 2, what are the challenges that you face?
I think the main challenge, we've already named it, it's how we can overcome those challenges during the viewing experience.
Yeah.
And aside from that, how we can actually focus on the surrounding areas and the schools nearby, because the demographics are going to be mostly families.
Yeah.
And we knew that Taunan was within 1 km.
That is
so we used that.
Story.
Yeah, that was one of the selling points of the unit that we really highlighted on.
Yes, 100%. And we had to choose the viewing timings as well.
Yeah.
Because at certain timings,
it was nearby the school.
It's right opposite the
school.
And it'll be congested.
Yeah.
And there's some days where the gates of the development didn't work. So we had to talk to the security guard to say, "Hello, friend. By 11 a.m., this door is still open."
Yes.
Right? So to ensure the whole viewing process was great. Okay. Before all these challenges, I think one thing that I want to credit the success to, right? To yourself, to the team, marketing team. I also want to credit success to the owners.
Yeah.
I remember we had 3 calls with the owners before we took it on exclusively. Owners trusted us. I think owners saw our home tours online. He found us online. He talked to us. And they said, "Do what you have to do. Don't worry. We trust you."
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And let's talk about it. So the moment we got the listing, right? Exclusive listing, what was one thing that you felt that this unit has to be done? You have to do in this unit. What is one thing that you did?
I think it was definitely the 3D rendering.
Yeah?
Yeah. Not only the home staging, but also 3D rendering. I think this too was the most important.
Yeah.
Because it was a 3-bedroom converted into 2. Yeah. So we wanted this 3D rendering to show that we can convert it back into a 3-bedroom.
Yes.
And how it can look if you're looking to renovate.
Absolutely.
And the living area was a really high ceiling.
Yeah.
And they were not using like a chandelier or anything.
Yes.
So we wanted to highlight that in the 3D rendering. So we showed that, you can also install like a chandelier in your living area, and how you can actually use the patio space to host friends and families over, because we wanted it to be a lifestyle home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think one thing that we did was that when we entered the home, when we took the listing, we knew for a fact that the owners love their place, right? And it's normal for all owners to love their place because there's a reason why you bought the place, right? Yeah. But honestly, because we have sold 1,688 homes in the past 2 years, right? So we have seen so many kinds of homes. We kind of know what makes buyers tick, right? Yeah. And when me and Jerralyn went there, we felt that, okay, yes, some things were done, but it was a little original in condition. Yeah. The first thing that we did was, before the 3D rendering, we actually did identify what are some of the challenges of the unit. Like number 1, west sun facing.
Yeah.
Number 2, there were so beautiful fluffy clouds because even though our unit was on the 5th floor, right in front of us was also low-rise buildings and landed homes, and there was this fluffy clouds. If y'all can add, I think the marketing is going to add the photo there of the photo of the bedroom that wasn't shown in the previous photo. That makes it so homely. We ensured that our editors edited it such that we can see the fluffy cloud outside. The bedroom, there were a bit of a wasted space where at the master bedroom, at the wardrobe space, there was this weird area where we converted into a study and we actually did it. And right above at the roof terrace, which was the challenge that a lot of us face, is wasted space. And what Jerralyn has done, right, I remember was she worked with a couple of IDs, got the most competitive quotes, got approved designs and drawings to give future buyers the exact quotation and price if they were to convert a 2-bedroom to a 3. And to make the roof terrace into even more beautiful. So in our home tour video, if you revisit it, right, you are going to see that there's this part where, as I was sharing the roof terrace, there was this 3D renderings that were happening already.
The ideas.
And I think certainty for buyers on the viewing, during the viewing is very important, right? Because when you view, when the buyers view the unit, there are going to be objections that they're going to face. And you have to tackle it on the spot. If you say, let me get back to you, the emotions drop and then the offers don't come in. All right. So you did 3D rendering, home staging. What about home staging do you think we did right?
So for penthouse and patio units, okay, there are a lot of, I mean, the space, like the patio space, the rooftop, the roof terrace, that is usually where the main objection comes from the buyers. So we know that we definitely have to make full use of the space and stage it well so that when buyers come, they know that it's a space that they can use and it's not a wasted space. So that was one of the main points. And I think I remember in the first time the home staging company came, they placed a very small outdoor couch outside, which made the entire space look really awkward. So we had to like rechange the entire outdoor table and everything to like a bigger table to show them that, you know, you can actually fit up to a 10-seater outdoor table in the roof terrace so that, you know, when you want to host friends and families over, there's a space that you can use. Like a legit space that you can use, right? Yeah, not that you can use and have fun. You can also have like a kitchenette upstairs. So that if you want to have like hot pot nights or barbecue nights, you can also use the space upstairs. And I think one thing is also how we actually really had great home staging partners. I think our home staging partners are amazing. They are so okay with us changing the furniture as and when we want it. Because they know that we love perfection in every home that we sell. We are micromanagers actually. You know, the sales force, everyone in the sales force is a micromanager. And we love to make sure that the home is actually presented at the best light possible. So, 2 main challenges. Why is it challenging to sell a 3-bedroom converted into a 2? And why is it challenging to sell boutique developments? Okay, so first, boutique developments. This development only has 20 units. And I think there's only like the swimming pool, a very small swimming pool that you can use, but it's not like a lap pool where it's like a proper swimming pool. It's a very small swimming pool. And not many people prefer that. Usually when they buy a condo, when people upgrade to a condo, they want a condo that has full facilities like, you know, a tennis court, proper swimming pool, a nice gym that they can work out in. And for boutique developments, this is something that they can't offer. So they don't have that condo feeling that they really want. And for a 3 converted into 2, you have to convert it back into a 3-bedroom. And for us to convert it back into a 3-bedroom, sometimes some buyers, they are not able to visualize how the space can be converted back into a 3-bedroom because it's already a 2-bedroom. So sometimes they feel like they're paying a 2-bedroom price. A 3-bedroom price for a 2-bedroom. So that's one of the challenges. So that's why when we had the viewing experience, we had to come up with a 3-bedroom floor plan on how we want to convert it back. How much is it to convert it back? And for the 3D rendering, how they can renovate it into a more luxurious unit and how they can also use the rooftop terrace. Because for the roof terrace, I actually went on Pinterest and I looked up a lot of photos from the US and Australia because a lot of them, they love roof terraces and patio units. So I got a lot of inspiration from there on how we can actually fully maximize and utilize the space above. And I think that's also the great thing about our sales force is that we have a global sales force where Jerralyn actually studied in the US and she's from Indonesia herself. So the perspective to designing homes, Singapore is so boring sometimes, right? And the perspective of designing homes, it's the creativity excites buyers as well. And I remember the dining area being really small. Yeah.
And what we had to do was that we really brought in like a 6-seater, I believe, to
Yeah.
show that it could fit, right? And the kitchen was really small as well, I
Yeah.
remember. And we did it one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to ask this question, right? There's a misconception on the ground that JNA real estate brokers only sells homes through home tours. And out of the 1,688 homes that were sold last year, I think there was only like 150 that were sold through home tours. We only advise home tours for properties that we feel that is presentable and it actually helps in the sale, right?
Yeah.
So how important was the home tour for this property?
Okay, so we actually got a lot of buyers inquiring on this unit.
Yeah.
Through this home tour. So I think it's really important. I mean, this video played a very important role in helping us get the right buyer and right demographics that we were trying to target.
Yes.
And we got a lot of viewers from this. And even after this
10K,
listing was sold, even after this was sold, we're still getting a lot of inquiries on this unit.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think home tour for this unit was definitely helpful.
I think one thing that we did right was, okay, we don't like to run ads for home tours to everyone.
Yeah.
We like to target buyers.
Yeah.
And that's also the reason why I think focused targeting is important. And throughout this entire home tour, as you're watching it right now, right, I remember that, this is the starting scene where we actually started at a spiral staircase where it wasn't part of the GFA. And this reminded me of the $63 million GCB home tour that I did. Okay, but there's a difference. That was really a heritage piece, but this is not. And we wanted to start at the roof terrace. This is what we planned for, right? The script, I remember that we had words like lush greenery, garden oasis, open air living room, private dining area, where it wasn't even inside, right? But we brought a little bit of the element of, the 3D rendering later on that you can see. We ensured that the editing at the back wasn't overexposed so that we could see the entire unblocked view.
Yeah.
And great choice on the furnitures that we brought there. I felt that would be better if the cushion were of the same color, but we wanted to mix up the colors a bit to make it less dull, right? Yeah. It's always so awkward to look at myself. I don't watch my home tour videos. I only, the marketing team watches it, and if they need my help, I will just watch it and give some comments. But this is exactly how we wanted to sell the roof terrace, right? And
the unblock landed.
Yeah, I remember that's what we told ourselves, that 270 degrees panoramic view. And I remember as we move forward, right, there was this part where this was a 3D rendering that we included inside as well. Beautiful design, by the way. There was a lot of up and downs with the architects and the designers to see how we could really maximize the space. And every 3D rendering that we go through, right, we actually make sure that it's approved.
Yes.
What about you? What was the part of the home tour that you actually liked?
I actually like the roof terrace part.
Yeah.
Because we were able to show that it's not a wasted space.
Yeah.
And how you can actually use it as a lifestyle home.
Yeah.
Because a lot of owners, especially those in the US and Australia, they know how to appreciate roof terraces and how they can actually use that to host friends and families.
I was on the other side in the past, right? I was someone who didn't like wasted spaces.
Yeah.
But now as JNA Real Estate grows, right, I feel that it will be a perfect space to host everybody.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it right now.
Yeah.
I think that the choice of that table at the side that is at the welcome lobby is an amazing choice. And that was the dining area that I was talking about. It's right behind me. It was a little small and dark, I remember. And we had to make sure that there was lighting there and also it could fit up the 6-seater.
Yeah, this was also the living area where we said that we can actually also install a modern chandelier.
Yeah.
Because it's a high ceiling, it's kind of wasted to just have a regular downlights.
Right, yeah, that's right. And I think one part of the design that I really liked was actually how we reimagine and envision the living hall that allows the buyer, a different perspective and more livability, right? So sometimes when we take on listings, right, we always think about how we can reconfigure the entire thing. And this also allows buyer to have a better stay experience after they buy the unit as well.
Yeah.
I remember that the cabinets were tearing apart some of it, right?
Yeah.
And we had even our very own Lucas, the daddy of our team, who was fixing it.
Yeah.
He came for a site visit. He took on, I don't know, was it a glue gun or something to paste the cabinets, right?
Yeah.
To ensure that the home tour went smoothly. Yeah. And after that, I remember he carried on scrubbing the sink.
Yeah.
Right?
So that it looks more polished and shiny.
Correct. And I think that's also the amazing thing about working together as a team, right?
Yeah.
We have so much fun together, and we are always challenging one another to sell the listing at a good price, right? So after the home tour video, right, I remember we did a virtual tour. We put on the full-fledged marketing for a week, and we got a lot of inquiries, right? So I think the viewing experience was something that was important as well. So what was actually prepared during the viewing experience?
Okay, so for the viewing experience, we did up this information kit.
Yeah.
So the information kit is something that we always enforce for every viewing
listing that we
experience,
have.
every listing and every viewing. So this helps to highlight the selling points of the unit, what are some of the nearby amenities, and the pricing analysis with the surrounding comparable 3-bedroom penthouses.
Yes.
And how we can actually stand out from those.
Yes. And every single time when we do up a viewing kit like this, right, we always believe that we need to position our unit as the best in the market. Best not in terms of just pricing, but in terms of value, right? And I remember the viewing kit had emphasis on Tao Nan as well. So after the whole viewing, usually we will send this viewing kit to our clients, right? And then after that, we will make them feel as though they have just come for a show flat viewing, right? And this is important because I think, at show flats, you always see buyers buying things. So we always want to position every home with the show flat experience, right? So tell me more about the communication with the owners throughout the entire process. I mean, we didn't have a long time to communicate because the offer came in, but maybe tell me a little bit more about how many buyers do you bring in and, what was the owners feeling about us during the week of marketing?
Okay, so for us, whenever we take every listing, there are different stages to the entire process. So before taking up the listing, we always do up a listing presentation to show the surrounding analysis of the unit, how much the unit should be priced at, and what are our marketing efforts when we take up the listing. And once we sign the exclusive, we'll do up the home tours, the virtual tours, the 3D rendering and everything, all the marketing efforts before.
Storyboarding.
Storyboarding and everything. With the marketing team.
Yeah.
And then during the viewing, that's when we conduct an open house. And then that was when we actually had 7 groups of buyers that came on the same day. And we shared with them the information that we did on the information kit. And after that, during the closing, that was we do up like an offer update with the owner on why this is a good price for them to accept. And after that, that's how that's the entire process to the deal.
So I was just wondering, during the viewing process, right? Was Grace there? I remember Grace was there. Right?
Grace was there.
So I remember there were 7 groups of buyers, and that's also the best thing about working together as a team, right? I remember we set up the place together, home tours, I was there with you. During the viewing that day, Chris was there, Grace was there, you were there, and that gave that 7 buyers a very good viewing experience that no one's being left out. Of course, we're not going to bring all 7 on the same timing, but different timing where there was a tour, right? And I remember candles were being lit to ensure a great ambiance.
We turned on the AC.
We turned on the AC.
We turned on the AC. We played the music.
It looked good. And you know what is the litmus test that we have when selling a home? It's when we go into the house and we fall in love with the home. And I remember Lucas saying that I'm going to so buy this place. And that was when we knew that we succeeded in marketing the place, right? Even I myself was telling Penny, I said, this is a nice penthouse, right?
It is.
With the finishes.
After the staging, it was transformed.
It was really completely transformed. We're going to show the before and after photos. I think it's going to add on somewhere in the video. If not, there'll be a link below. But the transformation was real. And as you have mentioned previously, I think the best thing about working together with a younger team, I wouldn't say young, okay, we're no longer young, right? I started this business at 21 and then started at this business at 23.
24.
24. 3 years have passed, Jerralyn. We know each other for 3 years, And a young and a highly aesthetic team is able to shape and design the entire experience of the listing from online to offline to the experience. And that was actually how the team was being built, right? So I remember Penny was also working so hard on the storyboarding of this unit as well. The ads creation at the back end was insane. We had to make sure that we target the right buyers. And you were talking about the negotiation deck and the offer deck that we were talking about, right? So maybe you were talking about how we showed the owners this offer. And what is actually the purpose of the offer deck?
So the offer deck is to remind the owners on the pricing of this unit, what it's valued at by the bank, and how much surrounding 3-bedroom penthouses have been transacted and what they can get in the area with this price. And also some of the common objections faced by the buyers and why having this offer is
not too bad, right? Too bad. And we are known to reject offers behind the scenes for owners, even though we present to them verbally sometimes. But the offer deck also allows us to ensure trust and transparency, right? Because in this industry, it is known that price staging happens sometimes where a lower offer is presented first, which may not be true at times, right? And we're so thankful that CA is actually regulating this. And we wanted to make sure that every single conversation we have with the buyer, we show in the slide that we prepare and explain to them why this offer is rather not good or why this offer is actually good, right? And usually, this gives sellers the trust because sometimes sellers, they're not on the ground and they trust us and we just want to update them as much as we can.
So
I remember during the closing day, we went to our owner's residence and he couldn't believe it, right?
Yeah, because it's been on the market for 8 months.
And they almost gave up.
Yeah, so they were really surprised that we were able to sell it within a week.
Yeah, and that particular month, I remembered one was done by you and one was done by Grace. We had two owners who looked for us at the verge of giving up.
Yeah.
And this owner made $1.18 million in profit and sold at the highest price possible, right? Wow, insane. Any last words about this listing?
I mean, I think, the reason why I think we love our job is because we are able to help owners like this move on to their next home, because they've been waiting for almost a year, wanting to move into like D9 or 10.
Yes.
And after 10 months, they're finally able to.
Yeah. And it was so sweet because after that, they were so happy. They started shopping and then they committed to a place in District 10.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. That's why I say this was one of the most memorable deals I had in my entire career. Thank you for watching this episode on Marsha Residence. If you have any comments or any questions, whether you are a real estate agent or you are an owner looking to sell a place, remember this thing, don't ever give up unless you have given us a try, right? Currently, we haven't disappointed anybody, thankfully, but we're also very thankful for all the support that our clients have given us as well, right? So welcome to this episode of the Locked It series. We hope to catch you for the next one. This is Jervis.
This is Jerralyn.
So we hope to see you for the next one. Bye-bye.